let's just get this out the way. In my opinion, Spy Family is the anime of the year. I know the year's not over yet, but I'm still very confident in making that statement. Even though the month of October has some fantastic offerings for us.
Down, 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 down.
Lord have mercy. We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
From the moment Twilight's car bursts through as the show's opening starts to the moment Anya falls asleep as the show's ending finishes, this show will have you hooked. Spy Family has taken the anime world by storm, and it has me in particular recommending it to everyone, from my mom to my coworkers to that weird old lady who lives a few doors down from me. Everyone. I don't think anyone was really ready for how good this show was going to be. I know I wasn't, and I wish I was one of the many people who were recommending this show when its release date was announced. Now, Spy Family, like most things in life, does not exist without some controversy. There was that one artist who reimagined Anya as if she was black, and everyone lost their mind like Anya was actually going to look like that when the show aired. Also, people were mad because the show was rated too highly? Like the show had to pay its dues or something before it gets recognized as a great show? There was also something on TikTok, but I don't have that app and I'm not looking to get it now. But enough stalling, let me tell you why you should watch this show. Spoilers for some parts of the manga and the anime. Spy Family is the creation of Endo Tatsuya. Wit Studio and Cloverworks handled the animation, and my goodness did they knock it out of the park. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Spy Family is about Twilight, the best spy in all of Westalis. At the start of the series, after Twilight gets into some shenanigans that would make Tom Cruise and the creators of Mission Impossible blush, he is given the mission to spy on Donovan Desmond, a leading political figure in Westalis' rival nation, Ostania. You see, there's this fragile peace between Westalis and Ostania, and Donovan is a threat to the peace. However, this mission is not as straightforward as it appears. Donovan is a notorious recluse. I mean, the man barely ever appears in public. The only time he is for sure to appear is when he attends the annual party held at the prestigious Eden Academy for its Imperial Scholars, best students at the Academy. One of his sons is a member of this prestigious group. In order for Twilight to get even close to Donovan, Twilight must basically form a family and enroll his kid at the same private school as Desmond's sons and pose as a fellow parent. This mission is called Operation Strix, and it is quite literally the only thing preventing all-out war between the two countries. Spy Family brings another breath of fresh air that only the anime world always seems to come up with, like every season, without fail. Now, here's a quick overview of what I believe the series does well. First of all, I can't think of any other anime set in a Cold War type setting. Its cast of characters are fantastic, well, 99% of them. Also, it says a lot about the anime space in general that it is weird to see a normal functioning family. It's kind of weird, right? Think about it. Why are most animes about orphans, single parent households, or their parents aren't even mentioned? Naruto's parents are dead, Deku's dad is nowhere to be seen, Aaron's mom lasted what? Like an episode? And he ate his own dad. Even Miyamura's dad is nowhere to be found, even though I can confirm that he does exist. I could go on and on. Watching this family function is a complete joy to watch. Just thinking about when Anya made it into the academy warms my cold, cold heart so much. And I won't even need my heated blanket when the winter comes. I'm low-key jealous of what they have. Now let's take a closer look at anime's new favorite family. Let's start with the Forger family matriarch, Yor. From a young age, Yor had to raise her little brother Yuri all by herself. Due to them both being orphans, having to forego school altogether in order to get into the workforce right away. Her chosen profession was let's say invasive. Yor is an assassin. She's so good at her job that she's earned the moniker Thorn Princess. She works for an organization called Garden, and not much is really known about them right now. In fact, they are so secret that only a few in Ostania's own government know this organization exists. I've seen people describe Yor as a psychopath, and while I do agree she does have some psychopathic traits and tendencies, like how she gets excited at the thought of killing people, however, I think that is the result of how she grew up. Her way of thinking is ingrained in her, that she has to constantly fight thoughts of murder in order to solve problems. Like when she wanted to kill a parent of another prospective Eden Academy student in order to secure Anya's spot in the academy. Yor on the surface looks like a simple character. She's so much more than that though. Despite her cliche nice woman girl personality, she stays calm under fire, well unless Anya is involved, but that's kind of understandable. She's incredibly naive. She literally believes all the BS lies that Twilight tells her. Just watch this clip of Twilight's marriage proposal to her to see what I mean.
You're dead! You hear me? You're, even in sickness or in sadness, no matter what hardships we may face, let's do it together.
Best anime marriage proposal ever. I said what I said. Name another one that can compete with this.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
However, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Yor has a big problem. She is incredibly, really insecure about herself, to the point where she really gets down on herself when she makes every little mistake. However, slowly but surely in the manga, she's been getting over those little quirks, especially her getting over the cliche of being really bad at cooking, which ironically helped her meet a very important person who is really huge to Operation Strix. However, that's not what I'm talking about here. I don't want to spoil it. No one would ever accuse Yor of being a critical thinker. However, there's going to be a point where she might have to choose between her first love, assassination, and her burgeoning love for the Forger family. I predict this will come to pass when Twilight eventually becomes a target for Garden, and Yor is tasked with assassinating him. But that will basically be at the climax of the series, but right now I'm so excited to see her character evolve as the story progresses. Next up is Twilight, aka Lloyd Forger. Like I said before, Lloyd is the best spy in all of Westalis. The man has undergone countless missions, including saving the world at one point. Lloyd knows the tragedy of war, which has taken everything from him, from friends and family to eventually his whole identity. I love the fact that at least to this point, we don't know Lloyd's true name. It gives off this feeling of mystery, like we will never truly know Twilight until we get that piece of information. As a result of his early life, Lloyd has adopted this motto: ignorance isn't bliss, ignorance is weakness, ignorance is a sin. Lloyd is basically perfect, and this is because of his past failures, losses, and ignorance. However, all this comes with an air of sadness. Lloyd is never honest. Everything he does is for the sake of the mission. At least that's what he tells himself. Like for instance, when he cheers up Anya when she's having a bad day, he's there being the best dad he can. When Yor is doubting her ability to be a great mother and wife, he's there to reassure her like any loving partner would. But these aren't his true feelings. Every emotion displayed is a lie. Every action taken is calculated. Whatever person Lloyd was before he became Twilight, that person is long gone, or at least locked away in some deep hidden area in his heart. We've slowly seen these layers get peeled off, and we get this glimpse of this unnamed man buried deep behind the Twilight persona. The best instance of this is the viral clip of Anya during the Eden Academy interview. After going through an unknown test conducted by the Academy, which included a few ridiculous instances and a very real stampede of farm animals, the Forgers are able to pass the first test and move on to the interview. During this interview, Anya is asked a series of tough questions, including the moment that this interview went viral.
じゃあ今のままと前のままどっちが高得点だ？ツワン先生、何か
質問の変更をお願いします。
ダメだ。答えなきゃ減点だ。
Let me pause right here. First of all, this guy. I know this character was created just to be this asshole, but still, him. Just because your life is up doesn't mean you need to ruin another kid's life. For those of you wondering what is wrong with this guy, don't worry, I got you. This man's name is Murdoch Swan, and if I remember correctly, Murdoch was in the middle of a divorce and his wife was getting custody of the kids, so he wasn't really a happy camper at the moment. He already doesn't have the best reputation at the academy due to him getting his position due to nepotism instead of merit. I wonder whose bright idea was to actually have him in the interview room with the personal problems he was having at the time. But I digress. When he made Anya cry, it seemed like the whole internet was like,
Just want to talk to him.
Wait, why do you have a shotgun?
I just want to talk to him.
Dad, this is ridiculous.
I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him.
It is not his fault.
I just want to shoot him. I just want to talk to him.
You can't shoot him.
Wait, what?
at the sight of Anya's tears, the tenor of the interview obviously changes. Murdoch's colleagues chastise him for his question. The man himself starts talking mess, and York cracks her knuckles like she's about to do something unspeakable to him. But when we get back to Lloyd, we see him in a quandary. For the sake of Operation Strix, he tries to play the calm family father and husband. He clearly knows what Murdoch is doing, and he knows that he should stay calm. His family's not even a real family. But at the last moment, Twilight is able to stop himself and save Operation Strix from collapsing at the cost of a mosquito and a wood table. We had people all over the internet comparing this dude to the one guy from Full Metal Alchemist. You know exactly who I'm talking about. The significance of this moment was huge. Obviously, there are more moments than this one, but it shows that Lloyd cares more about his family than even he knew. These emotions that Lloyd deems unnecessary are starting to grow within him. As the story progresses, I'm very excited to see how Lloyd will continue to handle himself around his family, especially as he continues to get more comfortable around them. Who knows? Maybe these manufactured emotions were real after all. Finally, we can explore the star of the show, Anya Forger. Loki? This show will probably go as far as Anya can carry it. Don't get me wrong, Lloyd and Yor are great, and watching their growing romance will be a sight to behold. But come on now, Anya's carrying this mother to the finish line. Now, what can I say about Anya that is unique compared to literally anyone else? Screw it, Anya's great. No, she's amazing. Damn it, I don't think I can find the right word to describe her. Okay, one more time. Anya Forger is the best girl of 2022.
That is not true.
I know that is a lofty title to hoist onto a fictional 6-year-old, but in my opinion, she's damn sure earned it.
What? What?
I know she's facing some very steep competition. Is it just me? Or have we been really blessed this year in the best anime girl department? Damn, from Komi, Shikimori, Kitagawa, Takagi, and these are just some of the mainstream options. But it's going to take a whole lot to take the title away from Anya Forger, in my opinion. What makes Anya such a great character? She's just a kid.
Is that it?
Sure, she can read minds. Oh, I forgot to tell you, she's a telepath. But she's really too young for her to use it effectively. Now, of course, what I just said isn't entirely true. We've seen a few instances of her using her power, like when she found that mugger in episode 3. She also doesn't use her power for good, but I'll touch on that a little later. I have never seen an anime use a child character as ingeniously as SpyXFamily uses Anya. They never try to make her more than what she actually is. I mean, sure, there is an anime spin to her, but let me explain what I mean. Anya isn't smart. If anything, she's kind of dumb. I know that Anya said she's 6 when Lloyd was at the orphanage, but I actually think she's younger than that. Obviously, she's not like 3 years old, but you know what I mean. In her defense, she hasn't really had a lot of structure in her life until now. Like her father Lloyd, her past is shrouded in mystery. We've obviously never seen her parents or know where she actually comes from. We've seen a glimpse from her time as a test subject by an unknown group. One piece of information that really intrigued me was the fact that Lloyd wasn't the first person who adopted her. There is so much potential in this story nugget right here. Like her mother Yor, Anya is also pretty aloof. But another trait that they share is that they both have a lot of insecurities, and when they fail, no matter what it is, they take that failure very hard. However, they always bounce back, and it is exciting to see what they do next. Anya cries when Lloyd scolds her. She's rightfully in awe when she learned that Lloyd was a spy, but she learned real quick not to touch his stuff. She gets smug like all kids do when they feel superior to other kids. She gets scared and ashamed when she messes up, especially with her past trauma. She's just a kid. Anya Forger is the best child character I've come across in anime. I actually challenge anyone who watches this video to name a better child character. There's actually another member of the Forger family coming soon, but as of me writing this script, that character hasn't been revealed yet, so I'm going to save them for another video. Or you can just read the manga and find out. Go on. That character is in all the promotional material for the second part of the first season. Nothing's stopping you. You probably need more Anya in your life anyway. And there you have it. The Forgers are one of the best families in anime history. They look so wholesome, right? Do not let them fool you. This is a group of very dangerous people. From the little girl who can read your mind, to one of the most dangerous women on the planet who sometimes can't control her own strength.
Wow.
Then there's the best spy in all of Westalis, who can literally do anything. Dude is basically like the most dangerous Swiss Army knife, and he can take your girl too. I mean, just look at him.
Mr. Steel Girl is back. So let your man know that Mr. Steel Girl is back.
Plus the final member of the Forger family, who has a power that can basically stop all your plans before they can even get started. Accompanying the Forger family is a small but growing cast of characters. Let's see. You got Anya's best friend, Becky Blackwell. There's not really much to say about her right now, other than she's filthy rich, and she has a crush on Lloyd, so you know, nothing's new. Her rival slash future boyfriend slash her target to secure world peace, Damien Desmond. To expand on him a little more, Damien is a great example of a well-written tsundere character. Anyone who's watched my videos knows I do not like tsunderes at all, but he really works for me. In all honesty, I think it's probably because of how young he actually is, and the way he acts is all a mask for the lack of fatherly love in his life. He also messed around and found out Anya is about that life. Can't forget the man of himself and Anya's teacher, Henry Henderson. You will never catch him lacking. The man lives, eats, and breathes. I would love a spin-off of just him living his life. And while in my opinion he may never have a big impact on the overall story, I expect his interactions with Anya in particular to be very good. To catch a glimpse of what I mean, just go and read chapter 64 of the manga. Anya usually takes the bus to school, but in this chapter, the bus driver had a medical emergency, so the bus is running late. Mr. Henderson sees her and has her help him with some books he's carrying, but this really was all just an excuse for him to check in on Anya after she received her second bolt. The rest of the chapter is him just taking Anya around school and teaching her patience, to never get bogged down in her failures, and by working hard she can reach amazing heights. It really is a very simple series of lessons, but you can tell Anya really took what he said to heart, and when she gets home, she asks Lloyd to help her study, especially after seeing her own parents working hard in their jobs. Up next is Frankie. the hopeless romantic, Twilight's informant and best friend, and Twilight's first choice to play the mother role in Operation Strix?
Not a great plan.
If you're familiar with the James Bond franchise, Frankie's basically the story's version of Q. Frankie's always ready to help Twilight out when he's in a pinch. You actually get to see how they met when you read Twilight's backstory in the manga. Frankie is technically the only person in the story so far who knew Twilight before he was Twilight. I'm so worried that some lady's gonna take advantage of him and turn him into some powerless version of Zenitsu from Demon Slayer before final selection. Hopefully it's not an enemy spy or something, because I just want him to be happy. But I do have a guess on who he's gonna end up with at the end of the story, and just thinking about it makes me really wanna laugh, and I really wanna see it. There is the rest of the Desmond family, including the recently introduced character in the manga, Melinda Desmond, Damien's mother, and in my opinion, the most intriguing character right now. Last but certainly not least, we will meet Yor's love rival and fellow Westalis spy, Nightfall. Let's just say Anya is not her biggest fan, but you guys are going to like her. I can't tell you how excited I am for the second part of the first season. With Bond and Nightfall's introductions, Yuri and Anya will finally meet, and we will get a taste of what we should expect from them when they both get together. You know, I feel like I spend most of my time with these videos just talking about the characters, especially with this video in particular, but they are so good it would be criminal not to highlight them. There are two other characters I didn't touch on because I really don't know what to make of them yet, and I want to see them have a bigger impact in the story before I talk about them. But I'm definitely intrigued in what I've seen so far. Obviously, the SpyXFamily anime is more than just its characters. You can tell Wit Studio and Cloverworks added some special sauce to it, and every piece of the anime they created is fantastic. It's very easy to take something great and mess it up. Like for example, whatever the hell the second season of Rising of the Shield Hero was.
I was rooting for you! We were all rooting for you! How dare you! Learn something from this! You go to bed at night, you lay there, and you take responsibility for yourself! Because nobody's gonna take responsibility for you.
These studios not only fantastically adopted a great manga, but they created an anime that was beyond even my highest expectations. From the fantastic animation to the amazing voice actors, I want to particularly highlight the performances of Anya and Mr. Henderson's voice actors. I thought their work was absolutely praiseworthy. Oh, I guess I should mention that we've only seen half of the first season so far, and I can't believe the show is this good and we still have more on the way. Last but not least, the soundtrack is phenomenal, perfectly capturing that old school spy theme seeped throughout the anime, and the show's ending absolutely slaps, perfectly encapsulating Anya's journey. The song itself has already been added to my Spotify playlist. Actually, shout out to the artist Gen Hoshino who performs the show's ending. He's got some pretty good music to his name, and I recommend him for anyone looking for new music. SpyXFamily is a must-watch for any anime lover out there, and it should serve as an excellent introduction to the anime world for anyone who is curious. From its unique setting, amazing story and characters, plus everything else, this series is a testament to how great an anime can be when everything comes together. The show should be everywhere. Disney could only dream of making a show like this, but now I'm starting to be mean. Before we all know it, the second part of the first season will be here, and with the introduction of a very intriguing character in the manga, the future of the series is bright indeed. Plus, it's weird that I think that Anya is this year's best girl, which I know is crazy given the amount of competition she has to contend with for the title, but I stand by what I said. She is at least one of the very best child characters in anime history. I said what I said. Anya has set a new standard that other characters are going to have a tough time just trying to reach, let alone surpass her. And I can't wait to see her grow as the story progresses. Well, now we wait until October, where we can finally have something to look forward to besides Halloween. Well, if you live in the US, I guess. Maybe I should just give in and watch the second season of Rent a Girlfriend to pass the time. Yeah, you're right. That ain't happening. Okay, wow. I really hope I got this video before the second part of Spy Family starts airing. So future me, was I successful? Failure. Anyway, I had an absolute blast making this video. It really blows my mind just how great this show is, to the point the show's greatness causes controversy. I'm all the way caught up in the manga and I'm so excited for the future of this show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Alright, it's time for this video's recommendation, and this one was actually a tough one. Usually when I write these scripts, a recommendation usually just pops into my head, but I struck out on this one. So I wasted a lot of time racking my brain to find an anime, not realizing that I just finished watching one, and it is the perfect recommendation, and who'd have thought that anime would be on Netflix. Kotaro Lives Alone, maybe one of the biggest slept on anime of the year. The story is focused on 4-year-old Sato Kotaro, who at the start of the series moves into an apartment where he lives all by himself. As I watched the show, I immediately noticed how much Kotaro's story matches Anya's story. Obviously, even though Kotaro lives by himself, the show wouldn't be a hidden gem if he was the only character. There is the failed manga artist, Karino Shin, who acts as a surrogate father for Kotaro. I really like how the show highlights their relationship. Shin takes and picks up Kotaro from school every day, among a myriad of other things. Through everything and anything, you can really see how close-knit they are. I have to stop here and make this absolutely clear. The one thing you must know about the show is, despite the rosy animation and presumed premise, Kotaro Lives Alone is a low-key, very dark show. Let me get back to the characters real quick to show you what I mean. Starring with Akitomo Mizuki, who is like a big sister for Kotaro and maybe a possible love interest for Shin in the future. Mizuki is a nightclub hostess, and she is in an abusive relationship with her boyfriend. While we never actually see this piece of crap, we definitely see how their relationship affects Mizuki, both physically and mentally. Tamaru Isamu, who is Kotaro's downstairs neighbor. He tries to act like Kotaro's father, but he fails. I see him more as a big brother for Kotaro, and while we don't truly know for sure, it is heavily implied that Isamu was a gangster, and his past life cost him dearly. You see, he is currently divorced, which costs him his relationship with his son. He carries that knowledge with him every day, which explains how he acts towards Kotaro, even though in the grand scheme of things, he is just avoiding the main problem in his life. There is also Kobayashi Ayano, who is Kotaro's lawyer, and while there's nothing personally wrong with her, we as viewers learn through her how sad Kotaro's life actually is during her weekly visits to his apartment, where she gives him money from an unknown benefactor. One last character to highlight is Aota, but on second thought, I'm not going to tell you anything about him because I think it might be too revealing to this show's overall premise. There are a couple of other characters I chose not to mention here due to their overall impact on the story. I know you're probably wondering, where are Kotaro's parents? Well, you're going to have to watch the show to find out. I wish Kotaro could actually meet Anya, since her story is kind of similar to his. Actually, the more and more I think about it, I think their interaction would be amazing to see, but a man can only dream. Unless there is some fan art there of this. Like I said at the start of this recommendation, you can watch this show on Netflix, but I'm going to implore you to just give the show a chance. Everything that Kotaro does, from the way he talks to how he dresses, it all has a meaning. So just give it a chance, and I promise you will enjoy the story. Don't worry, dub watchers, there is an English dub for you to enjoy. So everyone's happy. So if you're looking for a new show to watch that is a dynamic child character like Spy Family that you just want to wrap your arms around and tell them that it's going to be okay, Kotaro Lives Alone may be up your alley. Thank you all for watching.